I noticed something was off during the deal. The buyer put the gun together 5 seconds faster than me, and I'm trained for this. Even worse, I quietly messed with the scope settings. The buyer stayed steady like nothing changed. One shot hit the bullseye from a kilometer out. In that instant, I thought about the retirement request I filed days ago, and the deal they set up right after. My gut sank. None of this was a coincidence. I was still running the clues in my head. The buyer suddenly handed me the weapon. I was told to fire one round beside the buyer. It was to test the suppressor effect. I could have ended the buyer right there. One move and it would be done, but I held back. A cleaner plan was already taking shape. The deal was about to close. Then I suddenly said, some parts needed improvement. It was abrupt, but the buyer didn't suspect a thing. I was given 3 days. I left the meat spot. I kicked the front bumper on purpose. Then I yanked it open hard. I made it look like a rough accident. I drove to a repair shop. I quietly gathered usable parts. Back home, I tore down the parts I took. I laid the metal shims on the bench. The hammer kept coming down until they matched the shape I needed. I took the steel pipe I grabbed. I cut it into measured sections. I stacked it with the shaped shims. Then I slid on a custom shell. A flawless fake suppressor took form. To match it, I bought a used firearm through a shady channel. I took the whole thing apart. Then I built it back up. On the outside, nothing looked wrong, but I knew the truth. Every part had tiny tweaks. 3 days later, the deal went on as planned. The moment I handed over the special rounds, the buyer demanded another inspection. My spine went cold. Sweat broke out instantly. I noticed the servers rushed into the back. The whole dining room went empty. The air felt like a trap. When the buyer showed up again, I slipped my hidden gun into my pocket. Luckily, the inspection passed without trouble. The deal still went through. I stared at the thick stack of cash. A flicker of doubt hit me, but I didn't know. The buyer got a mysterious call on the way back. Late that night, from the moment the deal ended, someone had been on my tail. I ducked into a corner shadow on purpose. I pulled my handgun. I circled quietly behind the one following me. Right as I was about to move, a motorcycle suddenly ripped past. It shattered the timing. The hired gun got away. That accident locked it in for me. The organization wanted me erased. The next morning, I planned to take my wife and leave this mess behind. I didn't know a sniper's reticle was already locked on my head. When I checked the attacker's body, I froze so hard I could barely breathe. The one who came for me was the same buyer from days ago. In that moment, my guess got nailed shut. They really meant to wipe me out. I thought hiding in a snowbound wasteland would cut off the hunt. But the calm didn't last. A few days later, I saw strange footprints in the snow outside my door. Each step felt like it pressed on my nerves. I pulled my wife behind cover almost the same second. A round tore through the air. I watched carefully, and I pinned it down fast. Shooter held the high ground on the slope. I shifted without a sound. I caught the only opening. I fired without hesitation. I took the shooter out. I sent my wife back inside to hide. Then, I suddenly stood up.